Welcome to Word of Mouth. It's me hanging out with a new friend, Rachel Awtrey.
Hello.
What's up?
So good to be here. So fun to be
Yeah.
in person, too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Rachel, we go to church together. I've never really met you, I don't think, but I think we have a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
You tell us what you do. Why are you here?
Yeah. Well, I do go to Redeemer Community Church. We love church. I am a mom. I have 2 little boys. I'm a boy mom. My husband, Thomas, is in the military. So I'm also a military spouse. But along the way, behind the scenes, I think that the Lord has kind of taken me through this very interesting journey in life that has, and we might get into it, like a lot of weird sorrow and grief and hardship. And I think I just kind of got sick of it at one point, and leaned into whimsy, frivolity, joy, kind of just like switched up my life for the best. And that has all opened up some really cool opportunities just because I think it's so countercultural, especially even evangelically, like very countercultural. And so now I have a podcast. It's called Real Talk with Rachel Awtrey. I started that in 2018. And then from there, some other cool doors have opened up with speaking. And then most recently, I have a book that came out about a month and a half ago called Love Your Life, Even When You Don't Like It All the Time.
Very cool.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, let's kind of go through that bit by bit.
Let's go.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in South Carolina.
Okay.
In Columbia, South Carolina.
Very cool.
Technically, though, if you know South Carolina, it's Irmo, Lake Murray area. But we round up. We say Columbia.
Yeah. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
What was growing up like? Siblings, parents, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I had a very charming childhood. And I have 2 biological brothers. And my mom and dad were married. And just really fun, charming. We built a house. We grew up in the house. We had lots of fun memories in that house. It's also funny, too, as an adult, reflecting on your childhood and also being a mom. You look at childhood a little bit differently because you have compassion for your parents because now you get it.
Yeah.
But then also you have so much more life experience. You're like, oh, snap, maybe that was really hard for little Rachel and she had no idea, you know? So hindsight, at the time walking through it was very charming. Hindsight, there was a lot my family was holding that my little brain could not comprehend. My dad actually had kidney failure.
Goodness.
And that happened, I think, right after I was born. He was diagnosed with that. So as far as I could remember, my early childhood, he was on dialysis. He would hook up to the machine. He had holes in his belly. And honestly, I just kind of thought that's what everyone's dad did.
Yeah.
Again, because your world is being formed. My little brothers are awesome, Hamilton and Landon. One of them is on the autism spectrum, which has just been a really neat way, like a unique privilege at a young age to realize other people are different, think differently, act differently, need different things. So that was really a different complexity added to life. So hindsight, I'm like, oh my goodness, my mom has a husband that's dying, trying to survive with her kids. Yeah. One of them has special needs. And then here I am being like, I had a really charming childhood.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I want to give good context that, I mean, it was also really hard hindsight too.
Yeah. I've gone back and interviewed my parents a couple times on the podcast.
Interesting.
Which you should try and do that. It's, to us, one of the things we wanted to do with the podcast was capture stories of our lives with our family members for like our kids and our grandkids.
That's so good. Legacy.
Yeah. Like we actually thought about starting a podcast and just doing that for other people, which would be kind of cool.
Wait, do that.
We might do that eventually if I can sustain doing 2 podcasts.
So cool. I know.
But it's really fun because like I've sat down with my parents and walked through their whole childhood.
Yeah.
And then my whole childhood. And I also look back fondly on my childhood, but I definitely had like crazy stuff happening. Like
truly, yeah.
I have cystic fibrosis, and so like the first 2 to 3 years of my life were just in the hospital, and like I almost died in all these different ways that I don't even remember any of it because I was a baby. But it's I wonder what it is that you look back and just remember. Yeah. All of the good things. I don't know. I kind of have to dig to remember kind of the sucky parts.
Yeah. I think we were built for resiliency. So it's
Yeah.
almost like a proof and God's kindness to be like, the world's broken, but I'm still in pursuit of you. You will still see beautiful if you choose to show up and see it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of like the story of my childhood with like, oh, wait, this was very broken.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, people were probably like, oh, they got it. They're fine. They've got it figured out. I think from the inside looking out, everyone was kind of like, help.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah, for real. I think it's, I also think it's really cool. Most of the people I know of, who've done really special things with their lives had really difficult childhoods. And I'm a big business nerd, so I love reading about the great entrepreneurs and listening to podcasts and things like that. And so many of them, similar situation, it's like dad wasn't in the house at all. He died, or he, left, or, there's some kind of sickness or illness or autism or something that they had to overcome. And because they learned at a very young age that like life's hard and you have to work really hard to overcome difficulty, that paid dividends way down the line when they were older.
Yeah. I think of it as like a muscle.
Yeah.
If you're not used to going to the gym, you can't lift the dresser off of someone if it felt like, metaphorically, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's, again, that's why I call it a unique privilege to have to walk through hard things early, because your muscles, brain muscles, real muscles, heart muscles, have to be exercised in a way where you can carry hard things in the future.
Yeah.
Which has been fascinating, especially now in childhood. I'm like, oh, wow, Lord, like you really did prepare me for some of the things that I'm having to hold now that I have the strength through you to hold differently than if I had never. So
that's so
like
cool.
a little exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then did you go on through high school? Did you go to college or?
Yeah. Well, I should add. So, my dad did receive a kidney transplant when I was in second grade.
Yeah.
That's actually how I met Jesus.
Yeah.
Because it was like a really cool, I literally have a visceral memory. Him laying in bed and talking to me about how had Miss Judy not given him her kidney, he wouldn't be able to live life to the full. And similarly, like we are all in need of a transplant too. And unless we receive that, which is believing in Jesus, then we also will not be living an abundant life, and we'll be sick in bed and living compromised. And I don't know why I just clicked for a little 8-year-old Rachel. And that was the moment where I was like, I get it. I'm following. I want that. Fast forward, my dad, after that, he was like, well, shoot, I know the brevity of life. I know what it feels like to literally be dying.
Yeah.
And now he's like, oh, is this what health feels like? I feel on top of the world. So he did all the things. He raced in triathlons, and he went and like, the Tim McGraw song. It's like, I went sky.
Yeah.
It was like that. That's kind of what he did. He just full sent on life.
That's so awesome.
Business as ministry overseas in the Middle East, was fluent in Arabic, just like truly.
Wow.
I was like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I owe it to the Lord for giving me a second chance.
Yeah.
So he did. Turns out, this is about to really piss you off. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Turns out he actually then passed away in a rock climbing accident.
Dang.
When I was in high school. I know. I never know how to talk about it. I'm like, how do we drop this bomb?
Yeah. Wow.
But we did.
Yeah.
That really bent my brain.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the snapping point that I feel like we all hopefully don't have to get through, but most of us get to. Yeah. We all have this
at
one
some point,
excuse me?
Yeah, at some point someone very close to you dies.
Yes, or you have like an identity crisis, right?
Yeah.
Like you lose someone somehow, betrayal, divorce, death, and you're like, wait, all of a sudden I'm so disillusioned. What is life?
Man.
I had this idea of what adulthood, childhood, dad, me, family would be, and all of a sudden overnight it's lost. And I was like involved in student council, and I ran track and played golf and was even in like the gospel choir. Like I was very like your type A fun high school girl. And then overnight I felt like I almost had the permission to grieve all the ways I had wanted to grieve in all the odd behavioral ways. And so I did. I literally, I just switched and lost a lot of friends in the process, and people, my teachers included, were very confused about who she was all of a sudden. But I just felt like I had the permission granted to me by life to be able to do the things I needed to do to get through it.
Yeah.
And
how old were you?
I was 17. Well, I was 16. It was actually 3 days before my birthday. So I never know. Like, should I say 16 or 17? Yeah. But yeah, I was a junior in high school. And I'll also add, everyone in our family really grieved messily.
Yeah.
and made some decisions that I had been to be collateral damage to. And I just got to a point where I was like, this is not it. Again, like coming from what I understood as charming and normal, and my parents were together and in love, and our hardest issue was having to get my brother to his therapy appointment on time, and to all of the things that come up after losing someone, especially a parent. I don't know. I just was at a loss for everything. Yeah, and I grieved and hopefully made some really weird mistakes. And it's funny. I think I'll add this too. I have friends, acquaintances, peers from high school or even college, because it kind of followed me into college, that will reach out seeing what I do now, which is kind of like ninja ministry, right?
Yeah.
And like being online and sharing my life and it looking, again, like charming. Like, we walk through hard things, but the Lord has been so kind to the life that we live today. And part of that is obedience, and part of that's favor, and it's a whole thing. But they'll look and they're like, wow, like you made it.
Yeah.
You know, like they knew me.
You made it
like,
out the other side.
They're like, whoa, like I'm so glad to see that like you're following the Lord. Like I'm so glad to see like you're in a church. I'm so glad to see like you have kids and you're married and normal, because people saw it was very public.
Yeah.
Our grief. So
Yeah, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's interesting when someone's like, I want to have a conversation about your story. I'm like, they don't know. How do I? I feel like I almost have to preface. Being like, okay, how abyss do you want to be here?
Yeah. How far do you want to peer into the void?
That's right.
I do I think everyone has something in like at some point in your life, something terrible will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to look at other people and not think about what they may have been through.
Oh, right. Like to consider that other people have been through hard stuff that maybe you don't see the physical evidence of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even people who, they're famous, they're online, they have a lot of money, whatever they look like they might be successful in some capacity, but you don't know, you just don't know what they've been through.
Right.
And I think it's really special and beautiful to tell those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like back to my parents. My mom my family's been through some really tough stuff. Me having CF, and then my mom had a skiing accident where she basically broke every bone in her torso.
No way.
And survived, and the Lord healed her, and it's a whole story. But she doesn't. She's not a very public-facing person. She's very private, and she doesn't like sharing her story online. And I convinced her because I was like, you don't really know, the Lord gives you a story for a reason, and you don't know who it will resonate with.
Right.
And I wrestle with that a lot with having CF, because I don't really talk about it. I don't really publicize it very often. But like my life is similar to kind of how your dad had the perspective of like, I'm alive. I probably shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. And so like I should go do amazing things, because clearly the Lord has like provided for me to be alive so that I can go do something. I don't know. Even if the amazing thing is like kind of normal, like just have a family, like that's
right.
Amazing. It's beautiful.
I call it a treasure hunt. I'm like, it puts you on a, what does, God's up to something. Like you said, God's up to something. This is not a coincidence. Yeah. And I don't want to miss it. So what is it? And it kind of allows you to play a little bit to figure it out. Yeah. Okay, Lord, where are you in this? Not Absolutely. That we need an answer.
Yeah. No, totally.
Some curiosity.
Yeah. So how long before you reached that sort of perspective? I mean, that takes a long time to... Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't ever reach that perspective of like redemption and healing.
Sure. Well, I feel like, quite frankly, I think I'm still on that. There are days and moments, especially now stepping into like different compartments of life, that I feel like the grief starts over on stage one again. And oh man, so to take you a little bit through the timeline, my husband and I, a boyfriend at the time, but husband now, we dated in high school. So he had the privilege of knowing my dad, which is really cool. Yeah. We broke up a few months before my dad passed away, not timed, obviously. And then we kind of didn't talk for, a good 2 years. We both saw other people, did other things. I lived a different lifestyle. Eventually we became friends again. He's like, let's go get smoothies. I like need to know if you're well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing stuff, I'm hearing stuff, and I know you, and it all doesn't add up. He's like, I need to see you.
Yeah.
I think just even him, knowing who he is now, he's such a protector. I think he was like, I can't find closure knowing you're just off in an abyss, you know?
Yeah.
So we go to smoothie and he kind of shoots his shot. And he was like, I don't know how this is going to work out, especially with who you are right now and who I am right now. But I want to be your friend. I feel like you need a friend. Would you be up for having a friend in me? I was like, well, yeah. And I think a lot of it was comfortable too. Cause I was like, well, you know, pre-Rachel and you know, post-Rachel, and you have the whole story. And so he kind of felt like my historian too. So he just was friends. And then he really shot his shot where he was like, all right, listen, what do we have to lose? Right? Like we date and it doesn't work out. Then we at least know.
Yeah.
Or we date and we get married and it also works out, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, well,
how old are you?
I was probably like 19, 20.
Okay.
About to turn 20.
Yeah.
And he was 22 because he's 2 years older. And, I mean, it kind of just got to this really cool point where I was like, you're right. Like, we have nothing to lose. He was so determined and kind of just like saw through the bull crap that I was doing and saying and talking like, and I gave him a lot of crap too. Like, I was like, I don't know if you want me, you know, I was super spicy. Like and I think at the time I didn't know I was doing it. I think I also was I was almost rejecting myself before I could be rejected by him. So I was just downplaying who I was, super insecure, making odd choices, knowing they were not okay. And I was like, well, if you want to fight for me, I'm going to give you a fight to fight for, you know? And I did, and he did too. And so here we are. I mean, spoiler alert, we have, you know, we're married and we have 2 kids, which is crazy. Very different people for a good reason, praise God. But, so yeah, married now. And I think through all of that, I think the Lord used him, my story, time, moving to Birmingham as all different types of healing and balms to a lot of wounds.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a process. There was no specific moment that I woke up to it. I think I honestly had one of those like, well, I'm an achiever at heart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to make something out of nothing. That's just kind of who I am.
Yeah.
And I had a moment where I thought, I almost feel like by me sitting in a corner in this unlocked jail cell, voluntarily keeping myself imprisoned is not doing anyone good and is surely not carrying on my dad's legacy, and almost makes his death pointless, right? Like if it's only affecting me in a negative way, when in reality it really could turn ripples into waves if I just go out and live legacy, apply what he's taught me, do something with his life post his death. I feel like that almost makes it, in my mind, I know it sounds weird formulaically, but like makes it worth it.
Yeah.
And so once I had that moment, I just started leaning in, and it's really cool what I feel like the Lord started revealing to me.
Yeah.
When he was like, oh, there you are.
Yeah. So did you do college in that time?
Yeah. So I went to college. I went to Clemson University.
Okay.
And again, was really involved and had a great time.
Yeah.
I loved it. I feel like I had this identity crisis where I switched. I went from like real Rachel to weird Rachel back to real Rachel.
Yeah.
Within the college time. So again, like I lost more friends because I was changing friend groups and all of things. So college was interesting for me. It was very formative.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. And Thomas and I started dating in college too.
Yeah.
So it just was a lot of 4 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, having your dad pass away like before you even
Right.
went, and then going through that whole process while in college. College is already like crazy transitional, like becoming an adult and all that kind of stuff. Like that adds a lot on top of what's already a formative time.
Yeah. And then going back from college to a home that doesn't really feel like home anymore because you never got a chance to understand it as home without the person who made it home.
Yeah.
Was very weird.
Yeah.
So just like college was just, it was funky and really good and fun. So
Yeah.
That was all of it. And then, and we got married quickly out of college too. People were like, surely she's pregnant. But like I was not. We just were in love.
Yeah. What was your timeline?
Okay, so I had a semester left to finish when we got married.
Okay.
We got married when I was 21 and he was 23.
Yeah.
Very young love. it kind of was at this point too, and we have this conversation still today. We're like, if we had dated any longer, I don't think we would have made it to the end.
Yeah.
Only because when you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know. The right person, the right time, you have to full send.
Yeah.
If you linger there too long, you almost kind of just like rot like fruit. Like you have to eat it when it's ready. And if you don't, you miss it. And that was us. Where I was like, I think if we know, we know. And he said this too. And we just knew so much of life together. Anyways, it just made sense.
Yeah. My wife and I got engaged after 7 months.
Yeah.
So
people have thoughts.
We moved fast.
People, yeah. And I'm like, it's so funny because now we're like a decade into being married. People are like, wow, you made it. I'm like, did you doubt us?
Why did you think we wouldn't?
Right. Yeah. So we got married right out of college. I mean, we were living on beans and love.
Yeah.
Should have been on food stamps, but we weren't.
Yeah.
Like we were.
Well, yeah. So then I was going to say, Thomas.
Yeah.
When does he become a pilot? Because I know that's like a crazy, difficult journey too.
Yes. Yes. So when we got married, he went to school for engineering and I went to school for graphic design, basically. And so for a minute, we didn't really know what we wanted to do. We spent a summer volunteers out at J.H. Ranch, which is what brought us to Birmingham.
Awesome.
Straight out of college, Thomas was offered a job as the activities director. So he trained the ropes course, what do you call them? Volunteers. He oversaw the maintenance in the building, and the maintenance of ropes course, I should add, and like whitewater rafting. It just was like super cool, full of adventure. So we moved, straight after our honeymoon, 5 days off of our honeymoon, we went to J.H. Ranch and we hit the ground running with his new job. It was super cool. It was, you rode a 4-wheeler to work. You had this beautiful, picturesque mountain valley right in front of you, and there were horses frolicking around in fields, and you have worship every single night, right?
Yeah.
And like, there's a chef that cooks you food. Like, it was just idyllic for your first. Magical. It was also really hard. I mean, and then you're doing newlywed without like the privacy, because ministry is public. You're living with your coworkers. You're sharing. There's no out.
Right.
So that was also complicated, but we did that for about 4 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was. It was a long time. In this 4-year process, I could sense some change happening in Thomas, that he wasn't happy. And it wasn't because of J.H. Ranch and his actual job. I think it was more of him asking some hard life questions like, what, are we going to do this for forever? If not, what's next? Because he didn't really feel like engineering was it, but he loves crunching numbers. He's also a big people guy. So he's like, I can't imagine working in a cubicle for the rest of my life. Like, that's not it. So I'm just like watching this happen. And again, we got married young. So we're figuring out life together. Yeah. Versus I have a lot of friends now that are getting married and they know exactly who they are. They're fully confident. They're walking in it. They just look to the left and the right and seeing who's walking next to them. Yeah. Versus us little young guns. We had no idea what we were doing. Yeah. No business in doing it together. But we were under a covenant. So we're like, let's figure this out. It was wild. So we moved back to Clemson so I could finalize school and all the things for a short season. And we lived under the traffic pattern of a local airport. And he downloaded an app to follow all the planes. And he was always looking at planes, and we'd hear one fly over and he'd like run outside like a little boy and just like find where it is. He's like, wonder what kind of plane that is, like where they're going. And just, it was really cute. And I realized like he's coming alive, like he's doing this. And it was interesting. The Lord was like massaging my heart to this idea of it just like being a quarter life crisis. And then one day I just said to him, I was like, I need you to stop talking about airplanes or do something about airplanes. But like, I cannot, like, you weren't going to be, no offense to like the grandpa with all the trains and the train room and like collects all the things. So like that won't be you. Like you do it or you don't. There's no hobby here. Yeah. But also being a pilot cannot be a hobby. Right. You know? Yeah. Unless you're just really rich. Right. It's a very expensive
The only person I know of is a friend of a friend who is a pilot for fun. Right. And he is very wealthy. Right.
Like you do it with all your free time that we don't have. And I was like this. Yeah. So I kind of was like, shut up or go for it. And he went for it. So he went and took private lessons. I think he went on his first flight just to try and see if he even liked it. And he came back and was like, I was built to do this. That's cool. Wild. Again, beans and love. Yeah. Should have been on food stamps. Yeah. Like it's an expensive hobby. And it also is a hobby until you get hired. Yep. but you can't get hired until it's been a hobby. So
Yep.
we kind of were like stuck in this rat race of like, well, what comes first, the money or
Yeah.
or what? And so it was wild how the Lord truly provided random checks on Thomas's desk at work.
Wow.
He Uber drove, he fundraised, he asked his family, like, this is really what I want to do. And like, I need an investment. Like, would you consider?
Yeah.
It could either be angel investor. We could talk about what this is like, but like, this is the business I want to do.
Yeah.
There's no way for me to start. I feel stuck. And it was really cool to see him ask for help. Anyways, fast forward, he became a pilot. This whole time he's been in the military too. I should add that. He was a crew chief, so he was maintenance on F-16s ever since he graduated from high school, which is part of the reason we broke up. Just because I was like, I'm not going to be a military spouse.
Yeah.
LOL. Here I am. So, and yeah, so when we were kind of at this crossroads of how do we want to approach you becoming a pilot, you can either fully fund yourself and just be like a private pilot, or you could go through the military route, like many other civilian jobs you can do through military and have them pay for it. And that's what we chose. And it was the coolest, wildest journey. Felt very much like the movie Top Gun, where you're sitting in these classrooms in flight suits and talking all these acronyms, and all the wives know the acronyms, and we could basically fly the planes if we had to, because we made the flashcards. Like it feels like college again, but now you're adults and you're all living on base and you're shopping at the same commissary, and you stop and you say the Pledge of Allegiance every day at 5:00. Like it is just, it's like bizarre. It is not the life that we live right now. But we lived that life for about 2 years while he went through pilot training. Yeah. And had babies along the way. Wow. Yeah.
At the same time. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was really crazy. We had a hard time getting pregnant with our first, had our first, miscarried our second, had our third, and then just recently lost our fourth. So it's like, all the babies, they just kind of like found their way. They joke. They're like, you're going to leave pilot training with a baby, a dog, or a boat. Yeah. Because you're so on when you're on, and then when you're off, you're just chilling. Yeah. And we did it through COVID too. Yeah. So there was a lot of chill time because no one knew how do you share a cockpit with someone and also wear a mask when you have to wear your oxygen. Like no one knew what to do. So there was a lot of sitting and waiting. Yeah. So they're like, baby dog or boat, you're going to get one of them. Yeah. Like, there's no way. We thought we were infertile. And then we leave with a baby. We're like, oh, it's true. We leave with a baby dog or boat. Yeah.
My wife and I are 25 and 26. Yeah. And so a lot of our friends are having kids. How did you walk through that decision together? Yeah. And what was that like? I know it changes your life, but like, particularly as a mother, because I'll never understand that. Yeah. What is that like?
Oh gosh. It's like the best mirror to yourself. Like you think marriage is to get to know yourself better, right? And like this other person, but really or you think it's going to be to get to know the other person better, but really you're getting to know yourself better. And then to raise these tiny humans, it really, I don't know how to describe it. There's no description. I think it's one of the craziest experiences that we'll have on this earth to have made a human together. I think Rachel and Thomas in high school would like think that's just so cool. Like, oh my gosh, like we made, like they are us. That's crazy. And I learned so much about my body and how God made women through the whole pregnancy process, which is wild because your organs have to rearrange to make room for it.
Insane.
I mean, like, I don't understand how people in the medical field like don't believe in a creator, because there's just some stuff that I'm like, but like, how would we know? Like, how would it know to do that? You know? Anyways, I think I gained a lot more respect for my own body and like what it can do. I gained respect for Thomas, watching him move from a him thing to an us thing to a them thing. It's wild. I think I learned so much more about the Holy Spirit, especially in the first year of being a mom, because you just don't know. They say you have intuition, and I'm like, well, I think it's Holy Spirit. But I learned so much about what it looks like to listen and to be still and ask for help when I didn't know, what it looks like to be rescued. And again, like you feel so much more responsible than you ever have in your life. You're like, okay, if I don't eat for 6 hours, like that sucks, and I'm hungry. I'm hangry at the end of it. But I don't feel guilt because I had the decision, right? But now all of a sudden you're taking care of another person. And you're like, we are going to make it and not just survive, but and kind of like the viewpoint I have now is I really want to enjoy this. I don't just want to get to the end of being a mom with them under my roof and being like, whew, that was a
Yeah.
lot. Glad
Yeah.
it's over. Can't
Yeah.
wait to see who they are as adults. Like
Right.
I want to look back, be like, that was so intense. I
Yeah.
can't believe that happened, and I had so much fun.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I mean, I have so many more words, but that's it.
Yeah, my mom, I was telling her the other day, I think I said something like, I can't wait to have kids who are like, you know, middle school, high school age, because I really want to like have conversations with them. And my mom was like, yeah, I mean, I think I had asked her like what her favorite stage was, and she said every stage, because like
Yes.
it's just a new adventure every time they
Yes.
reach some milestone or something like that.
You're getting to know like 8 different versions of them.
Yeah.
Same person, different people.
Yeah.
Or same people, same persons. Anyways, very weird and
Yeah.
cool. And yeah, I'm like, I am raising 2 men, you know? And then I look around, especially in our congregation in the sanctuary, and I'm looking at men. I mean, like, this will be them one day. And not that I'm fully responsible, but I do play a part.
Yeah.
And that is so cool to me that in this moment, it's very easy for me to think of Maddox as a 4-year-old and Ollie as a 2-year-old, but to respect them as one day going to be men changes the way that I discipline, talk to them, play with them. And that's been really cool too. That's something I'm learning in the season.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you work during like flight school and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so this is kind of where the podcast was birthed.
Okay.
So I did some contracting, graphic design when we were at JH Ranch, because I did not work for them, just Thomas did, but I had to find something remote. And I didn't love it. I think it was more customer service than design when you're doing it for clients. So I stopped. And then I had a friend. I think I just felt a little purposeless. I had a friend reach out. She's like, we should start a podcast. I was like, well, in 2018, it was Crime Junkies, NPR News, and then like sermons put up from Sundays.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not really like, you know, I don't want to be a talk show host, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. Like, don't you feel like there's a gap right now? I mean, it is either Crime Junkies, NPR, and churches on Sunday, or it's these like awfully explicit, disgusting entertainment shows. There's nothing in between.
Yeah.
So I feel like girls like us don't know where we fit. Why don't we just create a space where we fit? I was like, well, that's a fun idea. So we created a show. It's called Behind the Bliss Podcast back in 2018. It took off really quickly. I think because we kind of found a need in the market of entertainment mixed with faith. Yeah. Clean conversation, walk away with wisdom, but you can totally listen to it on the go while you're unloading your dishwasher. You don't have to take notes. Yeah. Kind of is what we were trying to create. And it was really fun. We did our first live event. We sold it out. We started to sell merch. It was selling out. We're like, this is kind of crazy. Then the pandemic hit. And then everyone started listening to podcasts because everybody was home and bored. So then our numbers skyrocketed again. My friend ended up leaving the podcast because, again, she was like, this was a great summer project that turned into more. Yeah. This is not what I feel called to do. Like, I bless you with it. And so she did. Yeah. We're still great friends. And then I had a well-known Christian contemporary music artist on the show. And he was like, can I be so for real with you right now? I was like, what's up? He was like, I had a completely different idea of what the show was going to be based off of your branding, your name, and all the things. You need to change the name of your show. Yeah. I was like, do I? He was like, no, you totally do. So we had already started thinking about it. So I changed the name of it to Real Talk around that time. And then and quickly after that, just kind of like the ball started rolling. It's so kind of wild what happened behind the rebrand. And our joke now as a team is like, Behind the Bliss could never. Yeah. Because like we honor what it was, but it did take kind of a switch to make it more alive. We joined a network. That network didn't work out for some weird reasons. Again, it's weird to be a podcast, a faith-based podcast in an entertainment world. You have to stand your ground. So we stood our ground. They didn't like it, when neither did we. So we left. And then quickly after that got picked up by a major faith-based network called That Sounds Fun. And then from there, I had a literary agent reach out. She's like, everything you're saying makes very much sense. I feel like it's different than what I'm hearing online, especially in a faith-based world. You should write a book. I was like, what would that even look like? She's like, that's my job to help you figure this out. Yeah. And so we've worked together for almost 2.5 years, 3 years now. Yeah. And then now there's a book. So it snowballed. Yeah. In a really cool way.
That's awesome. Yeah. How do you balance being a mom and working?
Mm-hmm. I don't really balance it. I used to try. I think now I'm learning presence. And when I step across the threshold of a room, I am in that room. So like right now, I'm a mom. My responsibilities are not as a mom in this moment. I'm called to show up presently as a podcast guest and like to do some fun work. And when I walk out that threshold and I get in the car to go pick up the boys from their Mother's Day Out program, I am now on as a mom. And to try to do both is exhausting because it requires different parts of your brain. It requires different parts of your heart. I think you feel more cluttered. Praise God for automation and AI. Like there's a lot of people are like, how do you balance it? I'm like, I don't know. Ask ChatGPT and all the other like zaps that I have set up that are doing work behind me. I also have a team. I think hiring out, I started to see a lot more momentum too, because wealth, it's not about wealth, but just to name a few, wealth, influence, relationship is built with heart and head. Work is built with your hands. And so anything that I was doing with my hands that I felt like caused friction or called me away from my head and my heart, I hired out as soon as I could.
Yeah.
As soon as I could afford it, because I knew that once I'm freed up with my mind, I can cast more vision. I can have more clarity. The burnout gets further away.
Yeah.
It's more sustainable. And so
Awesome.
I'd say too, like my team is a huge part too, where I can be like, okay, y'all got this.
Yeah.
Like I texted them before. I was like, do not disturb.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It takes a village, and I think it should.
Yeah. That's so cool. I read a book that was really, really impactful to me. It was called The E-Myth, Why Most Small Businesses Fail. And what you just articulated is like exactly what he basically articulates that you should do as a business owner.
Yeah.
Which is like the part of what makes being some sort of entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want to call it, difficult is that you're always learning new skills. Because as soon as you reach the next level,
it requires more.
You basically have to like teach someone else how to do everything you've been doing before, and then you move on to go try and learn the next thing.
Right.
And I think some of the best entrepreneurs and organization builders, they can identify what their primary skill set is, and then they outsource everything that's not exactly what they're really good at.
Right. And I'll say too, when you outsource, I think it's interesting. We're tempted to think of outsource like, oh, employees, like under or subdominant. Like they're going to be doing the things that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no. I would love to do some of the things they're doing. I'm just not good at it. And I don't have time to figure it out, just like you said. So instead, I don't hire under, I hire over.
Yeah.
And especially as an entrepreneur, I'm not with a nonprofit. I'm not with a ministry, but I'm doing ministry type work. Like I need elders. I need a board. I need people that can cover me, that can be like, that's not cool, take it down. Or like, or I don't think that's a good opportunity. Like, let's really lean into what this is and just like saying yes or no. And so I hire over. So I have like a management that works kind of on everything, but really they have help handling socials. I have a podcast network that oversees podcast sponsorship, management, growth. And then I have like a book team who helps edit, promote, press, like publicity. And so it helps, but I don't know, does that make sense?
Yes.
Like hiring over instead
absolutely.
of hiring under. And I have people that help me in like an assistant type roles to be able to do things that like, again, like I kind of love to do and other things I really don't want to do. Like they help me with those. But majority, when I'm talking like making your first hire someone who's better, smarter, wiser, faster, further than you. Yeah. And you'll catch up.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What does Thomas think about all this?
Oh man, what does Thomas think about all this? We go back and forth. I mean, there are some days I'm like, I just want to move to a farm and own cows and like delete all my apps. And then there's other days where I'm like, I love this so much. Yeah. I recently did a story, and then I'll get to that. I recently did a daytime TV interview, and so I spent the night in a hotel. Woke up super early in the morning for hair and makeup. Got on set, did my segment, hopped straight into their van, went to the airport, hopped on a plane. Got in my car, came back home, and did dinner, bath, bedtime. Wow. And I got to the end of the day. I was like, I feel so whiplashed. I'm doing like that time with like my fake eyelashes on. I'm like, this is wild. Like, I wasn't like, this is not normal. It's not sustainable. It's a pace I can't keep up. And Thomas is so good at grounding me to be like, you're right. You can't, girl. Like, I believe in you, and also stop, you know? But at the same time, he also, I think, is really excited to see where it goes. It does feel like I called it this earlier, but I'm so serious. It feels like a ninja ministry where people maybe are more inclined to listen or lean in because I don't have like a 401c3 like at the end of my name.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I'm not a nonprofit. I'm not married to a pastor. Like I'm in the faith-based space, but by favor and help and generosity and strategy, I'm not here because of any other reason, which is really cool. And so it's afforded me some great conversations and some evangelism. And so I think in that regard, he's like, go get them.
Yeah.
Like this is so made for you.
Yeah.
But it's so bizarre. We live a very different lifestyle than most of our friends.
Yeah.
And so I think we have like help written across our foreheads. And so we've learned too, like accept help and have people call us out or be like, the book came out August 5th. We went on a book tour. We hit 8 different cities. We were gone at least once a week until last week. And I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm so fulfilled, but I'm tired. And so now it's cool. It's hard and good where it's like we're doing all of that, created momentum for more opportunities. And like the inclination is to say yes to it all because you're so excited and you're riding the high. But then it takes him and our people to be like, please say no.
Yeah.
Like, please don't do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool what people in your life, whether it's your spouse or your friends or your home group or whoever, to really have the perspective of to be like, I don't think, like, I think you could do it. I don't think you should do it.
Yeah.
And
how do you figure out what to say no to? Is that mostly from outside sources, from people around you? Because I feel like, especially when you get the ball rolling on any project and you're catching the momentum, like the temptation is just to say yes to every single thing. Totally. Because you're scared that like the momentum will stop.
Yeah. And it's like feast or famine in this world. It also is this game of like relevancy. It's like you don't want to step away for too long because people will forget who you are. It's like really twisted.
Yeah.
Really twisted. And it's sad because a lot of faith leaders play that game too. And not that I refuse to play it. I think that if anyone should be doing it, if anyone should be showing up and holding a microphone and like accumulating wealth, it should be believers. Like we are a part of the kingdom. And like, if anyone should do it best, it should be us. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to show up and I want to play the game because I believe God's called me to be a player. But I've kind of had this revelation in my own life, personally and professional, that is about making decisions. That if I'm making a decision out of fear, then it's a no. If I'm making a decision out of faith, then it's a yes.
Yeah.
For example, we could say like, hey, Rach, we have a press opportunity for you, New York, next city. Do you want to go? I could either say, oh my gosh, I don't want to leave my kids. That feels really scary. Who would I take? I'd say no out of fear.
Yeah.
Or I could also say yes out of fear, which is, well, if I don't do it, then again, like someone else is going to take that spot. What a cool segment. This is never going to happen again. Like a scarcity thing.
Yeah.
That's also the yes was not a good decision either. So I kind of have to figure out, pulse check, where's my heart? Where's my body? Am I okay to even say yes? And if I did want to say yes, would I be saying yes out of fear it wouldn't happen again? Or what would people think of me?
Yeah.
Or am I saying yes because I'm like, this is going to be really hard, but I do feel called to it. I have peace about this.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm making my decisions. And same in motherhood too.
Yeah.
I'm like, are we going to leave this place because we're embarrassed because they're screaming and we don't fit in? Not a good reason to leave.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll stay.
Yeah.
Versus, no, we need to leave because, they need to be fed or they need to be fed. Anyways, that's kind of how making decisions, if you have decision fatigue or using a lot of brain calories, has helped me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. I feel like at my age, I have a lot of friends who are all making decisions about jobs and marriage and things like that. And we're all kind of trying to figure out how do you like discern what God's will is for you.
So hard.
Yeah, and it is so hard, but I like coming back to some of those like first principles about like maybe here's like a rule for how to make decisions about that.
Right.
Like maybe it is a good opportunity. Maybe you would make all these connections with like these people who are leaders in whatever industry you want to go in. But like maybe you actually just don't like the work. Like maybe the industry you're in, even though that would be a great opportunity, maybe you just actually don't
even enjoy it.
Like that. So like maybe you should look elsewhere.
Yeah, no, actually. And I think too, like he tells us he's a lamp to our feet. Like he's not a stadium light that's going to light the whole entire way. Like he illuminates our next step. And so, yeah, for the Rachel that's like, oh yeah, okay, what are like the 10 steps ahead? Like what are the 10 moves that would come from this one move? God's like, girl, chill. Yeah. Like we're talking one step right here. Yeah. Yes or no.
Yeah.
And two, I have to remember at the end of the day, especially as an achiever and as like a mom and someone who carries a lot of responsibility and dreams, God's like, hey, also like, it's not up to you.
Yeah.
Like, please remember that what you're walking through right now wasn't because you did some cool strategy marketing move.
Yeah.
Like it's truly favor.
Yeah.
And a connection somebody else made for you.
Yeah.
From a room that you were accidentally in. Yeah. It was not even on your agenda.
Yeah.
So he's like, I just want to make sure you have your priorities straight. Like the will, like I am so sovereign. You cannot take an eraser to my permanent marker as much as you tried. So do what you find peace in, do what you feel called to, follow your convictions, listen to the Holy Spirit, have fun. But like most importantly, like please don't take this too seriously.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I've learned.
That's a good word.
Thanks.
You've mentioned a couple times like the business side of things, and that's what I'm a nerd about.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting in the faith world, particularly making money. And
let's go here.
Yeah, I want to go there. I'm trying to form my question because at my age, most of my friends were all kind of like just getting started. Most of us are like finally to the point 3 years in we can buy our first house out of college or whatever. Me and my wife just bought a house over in Forest Park.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
like
that's
2 months
dream.
ago.
We love Forest Park
beautiful.
So much.
It's a 100-year-old house. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
Like I said, I'm a huge nerd about business, and honestly, this has been like a journey. It feels like of kind of my whole life. I mean, everything in your life is interwoven, but growing up, so many of my friends who love Jesus so much wanted to go be pastors. And so I wrestled with that for a long time because I was like, I love Jesus so much, but I just like really don't want to be a pastor. Like I just don't. Yeah. I like teaching. I like leading people, and I feel like the Lord gave me a lot of opportunities to be a leader in different things, and but I just never felt like pastor was like the thing that he called me to. And over time, like going through high school, there's like, well, we need people in like the workforce to like preach the gospel because you get opportunities that pastors don't. And as I dug in more, it took me a long time to admit this to myself. I really want to make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in like a blue collar Baptist environment. And so a lot of times in that world, it's like we work hard for our money, which means you work hard, but not necessarily that you make a lot of money. And then the love of money is the root of all evil. So then that's twisted to mean like if you try to make a lot of money, mm-hmm. that is the love of money, and that's evil. And as I've made more friends who kind of have similar desires, and we're trying to navigate, like, obviously, if I've wanted to do this for like my whole life, pretty much, clearly it's like some kind of burden God's put on my heart to like be a business owner, to do something in that world. Yeah. How do you navigate having a desire to grow? Mm-hmm. You need to make money to live, but also you want to make money to grow, because more money means hiring people to help you grow and reach more people, more opportunity. Yeah. How do you navigate that, especially in the faith space, where I imagine there is a lot of that pushback of like, well, if you make a lot of money, then clearly you're greedy and you're wrestling with the idol of money or whatever that is.
Yeah. That's good. So you're asking, I mean, I just want to clarify, because I have a lot of places I could totally go with this. Yeah. This is the hill I might die on, truly. So you're asking, how do you like reconcile ambition?
Yes.
Money?
Yes.
Faith?
Like I just interviewed Jeff Heine.
Love it.
And I asked him if he was ambitious, and he said no. And I was like, that kind of makes sense for you.
He's so chill.
He's so chill, and he does have like just this like quaint, beautiful little life where he like comes here and he cares for people.
Yeah.
Like that's his job. And then he like goes home and cooks for his family. And like that's a beautiful life. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not
at all. I have visions of like building $100 million businesses and like flying all over the world and meeting cool people and doing amazing things like that. Those are the dreams that I have that I wrestle with a lot. Like, is that wrong?
Okay. So to answer your question, yes or no, is it wrong? My caveat to that would be like, it truly does depend on your motive.
Yeah.
I think if it's to consume, to have, to be, wrong motive. If it's to give, to grow, to be a light, to be an example, great motive. And that goes down to anything anyone does, right? Like, do you want to be a nurse because you want the feeling of what it feels like to save someone and to be a fixer and to be someone's hero? Not a great reason to be a nurse, right? If like you want to be a nurse, you want to show up because it brings you life to see other people get brought back to life, literally, and it puts you to be more on fire. It opens up opportunity to share the gospel. Like, go be a freaking nurse, right?
Yeah.
And teacher and mom and entrepreneur or what athlete, like whatever you're going to be. I think it all comes down to motive. Number one. Two, man, I have been in rooms where a lot of money has been passed around. In front of me, a lot of money. And I think that is the first time I got woken up to this idea of like, oh, there is an economy, you know? Like, there is access to a lot of money. Wild. And that showed me that there are people spending money, that have control over money, that are trading money in an economy that is not rooted in truth and rooted in like an aligned value with me and my heart and even kingdom values. And it's depressing when you're in those rooms.
Yeah.
If you looked at like in the economy where money is going, it's going to, oh my gosh, like the sex industry. It's going to war. It's going to, I mean, it's depressing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, wait, if anyone should accumulate the wealth of the world, not even just to like to save the world from calamity and like all the things, really just so like we can be generous, to be a light, to be stewards, to show how it's done, it should be us.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, that fires me up, where I'm like, I want to be able to spend money to hire people that do excellent work, who love the Lord, to invest in them and their work and their money. And like we build our own kingdom economy. Huge, right? And we see that a lot in Old Testament too. But there's something to be said there. And then number three, my third point is a lot of what you feel probably comes from this idea of like, well, we should do it for free. We're servant-hearted. We're mission-oriented and all the things. Yes, in life. Business, I kind of compartmentalize where I'm like, if I don't charge what I'm worth, it doesn't just do me a disservice because I miss out on money and zeros that could have been there. I am now discrediting all the other women, specifically because of my industry, that do what they do and charge what they're worth because I'm the lowest bidder and they're going to hire me.
Yeah.
And I might even like have the same amount of excellence in my work, but they're going to go for me. And like that dilutes the entire industry and economy and what we do. It's like if you, I mean, the house you just built, right? Like if the house down the street were sold, like if you want to sell your house, let's go here. If you want to sell your house and the house down the street just got sold for like $200,000 less than property value, your property value also goes down because of proximity.
Yeah.
That sucks. You missed out on a lot of opportunity. And what could you have done with that money? I don't know. Start a nonprofit, like aid families, build your own. Like you don't even know. And those are kingdom agendas. So like, the moral of the story is by not valuing God-given property, intellect, gifting, and all the things, like you're actually like contributing to the dissolve of a kingdom economy.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it.
Yeah.
Again, but foundationally, I think it comes down to motive.
Yeah.
The root. Like the root of all evil is love for money. It's not actually
It's
money.
not the money itself.
And you even look at like biblical principles, lending, borrowing, leveraging, debt. Like these are all, if you do it in good ways, good things. There's a book you should read. It's called Business Secrets from the Bible.
Okay.
Have you read it?
No.
Okay.
I'm writing it down as I edit right now.
Yeah. Make note to
Yeah.
read. It's by a rabbi, actually.
Okay.
Like, he studied Old Testament and was like, what does the Bible have to teach us about the way we should do business, or how God intended business to be done?
That's so cool.
And it is so cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of these principles are in there.
I studied economics at Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
And so I love like the big picture stuff.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I'm most interested in business is understanding that price informs value.
Oh, and 100%.
So then, like, if you're doing something for free, like, I don't know, a free cappuccino doesn't taste as good as the $5 cappuccino you just bought from wherever it is.
Right, yeah.
And people don't always realize that, but that especially when you're buying bigger value items, that especially applies, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell the difference between a Mercedes and a Toyota. There's just like, it's nicer. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it comes back to like psychology. Like, it's not a bad thing to charge a price.
Right.
And if there's a lot of demand, go back to economics. If there's a lot of demand, probably means like the price is going to go up. That's
my
just kinda
speaking
how it
fee
works.
is high.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're asking me to leave my family.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
leave my family and hop on an airplane and travel and sleep in a hotel by myself. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going to charge you X. If
Yeah.
you're willing to pay X, I'll do it. But if
Yeah.
not, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Right? It's also this idea too, like affordability, expense, budget friendly are all bogus words, because at the end of the day, like, what is expensive? We don't even know.
Yeah.
If I say $75, you'd be like, I don't know. It depends on what I'm buying. Exactly. It depends
Yeah.
on the value behind it.
Yeah.
$75 cup of coffee. You're like, oh, heck no.
Yeah.
Right. It better be like made of
pencil.
gold. Right. But if I was like a $75 suit, you'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It doesn't have to do with the number. It has
Yeah.
to do with the value.
Yeah.
And I think, especially as believers, we're like, we read the menu on the right side and then we
Yeah.
go to the left.
Yeah.
And again, like, we're good stewards. I want you to be good stewards. If you have to read the right side of the menu first, please do that.
Yeah.
Right. But like, at some point, I want us to become so excellent in finances. Like, we are the people making the shots.
Yeah.
And playing the game.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, like I said, that's a hill I would die on.
Yeah.
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 Me and my
Prepare
friends
to
are,
be
we're
sick of
also,
me.
yeah, me and my friends are exploring that a lot too, because, I mean, so many of us are finishing grad school, getting close to the end of med school or
Right.
things like that. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're actually going to be making like a lot of money. How do we like
Yeah.
deal with that?
Right.
Like, how do you use that well? I'm into like cars, so I want to have sports cars and stuff. Is that wrong? It depends on the way you steward it, you know?
And I'd say, like, I like to make money. I'm not great at handling money.
Yeah.
So I think too, like, you're not good or bad at money. Like, I can make money if I had to.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I need bookkeeper, like my CPA. She's like, Rachel, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, help me.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't need that. I'm like, okay, I won't do it. Like, I need, like, and so when you're like, how's Thomas coming to play? You like, I do really well being bossed around.
Yeah.
But I also have a lot of really cool ideas that I need some space to try.
Yeah.
And I think too, it just is like, you will get to know yourself the more you try. Like, action breeds clarity. If you never try it, you will never know, and you probably won't do it. But like, as soon as you try it, you're like, oh, actually, like, please don't give me $10,000. You know, or like, oh, actually, like, I don't want to make that shot.
Yeah.
Somebody else make the shot. So,
Yeah.
but again, like, I only know those things because I tried and did well, or fudged it up, or something. So, yeah.
How did you get to writing a book?
Yeah. So I had, it was always kind of like a goal. I was like, this would be really cool. I love to write.
Yeah.
Poetic. I like to journal. Just who I am.
Yeah.
And I had it on my vision board, not really, but like, I had it as like, this is where the ship is headed. Like, this is a cool destination, right? So like, let's reverse engineer this. How would we make it happen now, kind of thing. And I remember sitting in a 2023 like meeting with some people on my team and Thomas, and they're like, okay, let's write down some things we'd love to see happen in 2023. And I was like, I'd love to write a book. And at this point, I had a lot of friends from the podcast world introduce me to their agents, which is a literary agent is like a real estate agent for books. Helps you clean it up, figure out what color to paint the walls, how should you stage it, what's it listed for, helps you read contracts, that thing, but for books. And they were like so generous to introduce me to their literary agents. It just didn't work out, either for me or for them or for us or logistics. And I'm talking like probably 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And Thomas eventually was like, well, hey, how's it going on those literary agents? I was like, really like hitting a lot of dead ends. I think I'm just going to wait until someone reaches out to me, and that'll kind of be like my green light.
Did you already have a book written, or
No.
you were trying to? Okay.
No. And I actually, hot take, don't recommend writing until you have a book contract if you want to be published.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they put their hands all over it anyways. You'll
Yeah.
end up rewriting a whole book.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. So, anyways, that's my little asterisk.
Yeah.
So he said, Rach, that could literally be months, years until somebody reaches out to you, you know? And I was like, yeah, or it could literally be tomorrow. I don't know. I just kind of like threw it out there.
Yeah.
Myers, it was the next day. We were on our way from home group, and I have this toxic trait of checking my email more than I should. And I refreshed my email, and it was like, let's hop on a call tomorrow. And it was Kathleen Kerr, a live literary agency, which is like my dream literary agency. I was like, you're kidding. I died. I was like, Thomas. He's like, no way.
Yeah.
So I told her, I was like, this might be really eager, but like, let's meet tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. She's like, let's do it. So we did, and we just hit it off. And we put together a book proposal, and then you shop it. So you serve it out to book publishers, publishing houses. We hit like the major 6 in the faith-based world. And I took a deal with Tyndale, which is a Christian publisher. They publish a lot of Bibles.
Yeah.
That's like one of their things. And that writing process was so fun and so wild and 2 years long. And I wrote the manuscript in 6 months. It took another 6 to actually edit it. Then there's like marketing and audiobook recording and internal, external designs, like all the things that happen. And then there's the pre-order launch season, and then it comes out. So now we're on the other side.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
How do you decide what to write about?
Halfway you get bossed around, which again, I love.
Yeah.
The other half of it is where are you coming with experience or expertise wise? So at first, I really fought this battle with Jillian, my editor. She flew to Birmingham, and we whiteboarded out this whole book about contentment. And I literally sat back and I was like, I don't like it. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't want to write about contentment. Like, I'm fun. I'm bubbly. I wear red lipstick. Like, I wear shoes that 30-year-olds shouldn't. Like, I just don't think it boils down to being content. I think it boils down to joy. And she's like, okay, tell me more. And so I told her more. And she's like, I think it's contentment. I was like, I think it's joy. So we really did, like, we fought about it for a while. And then I kind of turned in my first 3 chapters. I was like, thoughts. She's like, okay, yes, it's about joy. And so we continued. Oh, you write your manuscript. You kind of just go for it. You know it's going to be messy. You don't make edits. You just go for it. If you have a story, you plug it in. And then the editor, so mine, Jillian, she reoriented all of it. She changed it up in the best way to make it make sense. Because sometimes as authors, you're so close to your experience and expertise. It takes someone else pulling it back a little bit to be like, are you sure that's what you meant? You're like, actually, you're right. I do need to clarify or take it out. So she did that. And then they sent it to a ghost editor, who's someone who edits in the publishing house that's never seen the book before, has not been a part of the meetings, has no idea what it's supposed to be about, to make sure it actually makes sense to someone looking for the first time.
Right.
And then they edit it and you get back to them. And then, and then it kind of goes. And I remember there being one thing that I was like, I want to add this one thing. They're like, great, it's going to print in 3 days. You've got to get it to us. And I was like, okay. But it was really cool. Wild. Collaborative, which I'm really grateful for. It's not always the experience people have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like for like the 6 months that you're writing, or the 12 months that you're writing? Like, every day, do you get up and just make yourself write from like 8 to 12? Like, what is that like?
So you add in 2 boys and a husband whose job is to travel, and you're solo momming a lot. It was very messy.
Yeah.
We fit it in wherever I could. Yeah. I'm like nap time, voice dictation. I remember I was like holding a baby who wouldn't nap, who fell asleep in my arms and wouldn't transfer to his bed. I turned on the dictation on my keyboard and just like walked around our dining room and talked out a whole chapter, which is really cool. Bedtime. Some days I'd block it out. So like we do have some childcare helps, and some days I'd block it out. And some days I would write 14 words, and sometimes I'd write 4,000. Like, you literally never know what's going to come out of you. But what's really cool is when it was working, it was working. And that's like a dopamine hit I've never had before, where I'm like, you push yourself back from the computer and like, that just like overflowed out of me. I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah.
And then reading the audiobook, reading it back, you're like, did I say that? That was pretty profound,
Wait,
you know?
I kind of
like,
slayed that.
wow, that was really good. Like taking notes in my own book.
Yeah.
So it is cool too, because I think it's evidence that like the Lord is at work and he wants to say things through us that we won't even remember saying, that are said more eloquently than we've ever said them before, and that will just make sense because he needs it to make sense for us. And that was really refining too.
Yeah.
She's like, Lord, actually, I don't think I know as much as I thought I did about this. Like, would you reveal something new to me? And he did.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'd really love to tell a story about this, but I can't think of anything. Like, let me go on a walk. And then he brings 5. And you're like, oh, that's really cool. So it was a really cool process.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears a little bit.
Do it.
Podcast.
Yeah.
How do you find guests? Like is it follow your curiosity? Like how do you find people?
So right now we have a lot of, well, you have found me at a pivot, Myers, where we have been an interview-based show, which is really cool because you don't have to prep as much. It's very conversational.
Yeah.
It was built to be. Our listeners love it. Well, about
my prep for this was like scroll through your Instagram
Correct.
and listen to like 2 episodes, which is fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
I want to know which ones you listen to. We have always done interview. Recently, I just out of for fun was like, I wonder. I am a voice message girl. I voice message my friends. I voice message revelations, like breakthroughs that I have. That's kind of like my diary. And so I started posting voice message diaries on my podcast, and those outperformed the big shots that had been on the podcast by almost like 250%.
Wow.
Like, oh, there's something there.
Yeah.
So we feel a pivot happening where at this point we have almost 370 episodes at least scheduled, 350 something live. And it doesn't seem like a big deal. I'm getting to your answer. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a big deal. Like 52 guests in a year. That's a lot, but it's also not. But to fill them now, because we've had so many cool ones on, and everyone that gets pitched is very neat and very significant. But like at this point, I need friends and friends of friends, or else having a stranger, an intimate conversation about the Lord with a stranger without having to do much research is tricky.
Yeah.
So we're pivoting away from interviews, but the interviews that we are doing typically are pitched from their publicist. So they have a project, a book, a album, a tour that they're doing, and they're trying to get press out about it. They'll go to radio, news, daytime TV, and then podcasts. And so we're just on a few of those lists. So they'll pitch us some really neat people, and then we just have the option of saying yes or no. And a lot of it boils down to personality, and a lot of it boils down to timing and logistics. And when they need it to go live, it's wild. It's like a whole formula.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, I do kind of, I don't want to diss Steven, but I kind of do everything.
Yeah. You're like guest management.
I do the scheduling and I do the editing and I do all the tech stuff.
Yeah.
And Steven does all the thumbnails and stuff. Because I'm not very good at graphic design. I try to be, but I'm not. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And especially when you're small, like just you and one other person or something, like it's a lot to do. Yeah. While also having a job and whatever else you do.
I did it myself for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's like every episode we edited, it's a lot, and I wish people knew.
Yeah.
I'm like, all this free information.
Yeah.
For you.
But it's so fun. It's so cool. What do you think is like one of your favorite experiences you've had because of the podcast? Or like maybe your favorite interview or something along those lines?
Yeah. Oh, man. I have overall 30,000 foot view. It's been really fun because I've become really good friends with people that have been faith heroes for me for a while. And that's been really, really interesting to get to know these women very up close. Okay, so I had Bob Goff on my show.
That was one of the ones I listened to.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard the part when he took the phone call in the middle of the episode?
It was crazy.
That was like a core memory for me.
Yeah.
It was really cool. He had it said, oh yeah, I answer phone calls because my phone number's in the back of all my books.
Yeah.
And I want to be an available person. I feel like the Lord's asking me to be available. And then like almost on cue, someone calls him and he answers. He's like, it's Bob. And I was like, no way, this is happening right now. Yeah.
I was thinking about when that happened. I was thinking like, I work in insurance. I like shield my personal cell phone number from customers.
Right.
Like I try so hard to not let people have my
Yeah.
cell phone number.
Yeah.
And this dude is like very famous,
Yeah.
writes books, and like in his books that millions of people buy, he just throws his phone number on there.
I love you, Bob. I would never.
I can't do that. I don't think
would
I have that
never.
calling. I love that
No.
you do.
And I'm like, well, if a random phone number pops up on my phone, like, is it spam? Is it the hospital?
Yeah.
Is it a stranger? I don't know, and I don't
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
Like, you'll leave a voicemail if it's important to you.
Yeah,
So I feel.
literally.
That was really cool. I also just flew to Dallas for a speaking gig and was able to have on Reese Allman, who's a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. That was really fun.
Claire, my wife, listened to that
She
episode. She was
did.
going on and on about it.
Claire,
Because she
hi.
loves the show.
The-
I don't know
yeah.
what it's called. Sorry.
America's Sweethearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. I have just talked to some really neat people and heard some really cool stories that I feel like you wouldn't know if you knew the person.
Yeah.
Like Allie Holcomb, Christy Knuckles, Annie F. Downs, Carrie Job. I'm just trying to name a few off the top of my mind.
That's so cool.
I just had Tony Evans. Do you know who Tony Evans is? Say yes. Myers, say yes. Okay,
I don't think I
Dr.
do.
Tony Evans is one of our like patriarchs in the faith that
Okay.
you need to know.
Okay.
Okay. He is a black man, 76 years old. He is the dad of, and I feel like that's important to say because like he preaches so differently than like the white pastors that
Yeah.
we sit under.
Yeah.
Love them, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just different
style.
flavor.
Yeah.
His daughters are Priscilla Shire. Okay.
I don't think
That's
I know
fine.
her
That's
either,
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Women's ministry matriarch.
Okay.
And then Crystal Evans Hurst,
Okay.
also really cool. And then Anthony Evans, and I forget anyways, full of wisdom, really cool
Yeah.
guy. That was another cool thing for me. Probably because I listened to his
Yeah.
sermon tapes with my dad in the car.
Yeah.
So I
That's
feel like
crazy.
that was wild to like
Yeah.
sit with him, and I was like, "Hi,
Yeah.
Mr. Doctor, Pastor."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, "How do
Yeah,
I
yeah.
call you?" That was cool. But just I think overall, lots of I can't believe this is happening moments. Sitting in rooms and dining room tables with people like Jackie Hill Perry or Tara Lee Cobble, and you're just like, I can't.
That's so cool.
I'm a mom from Birmingham. Alabama. You're like, how do I even do this right now?
Yeah.
But it is like the wildest ride.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dream?
The dream. That's a really great question because, I really need to sit back and think about it because I feel like I'm living. I think if you were to ask me even like a year ago, like, what do you want to happen? I would describe what's happening now. And I think I just need to probably sit back and figure it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would love to, like, if I could build my own life, I think I would travel to speak maybe like once a month, maybe 10 times a year, get paid my rate, crush it, nail it. I love to speak, come back home and be a mom. I feel like this past month and a half has been crazy hard because I'm gone way more than I would want to be. But when I'm gone, it's kind of like the boundaries, like the threshold thing of like, when I'm gone, I'm gone. I am off. Like,
Yeah.
they have to be in someone else's hands. I'm in Dallas. I'm in Nashville. Like, I'm in Atlanta. I can't be there if something were to happen. But then when I'm on, I'm able to fully be on because I know I just did my part the weekend before. And so I feel like I was able to jump on the trampoline differently than I normally do, or like play hi-ho Cheerio differently than I normally do. Like
Yeah.
those moments felt more impactful because I wasn't thinking about all the other things that had to be done that day. So the gray matter doesn't exist when you're
Yeah.
traveling and then you come back home and you're traveling and come back home. The integration sucks and we're used to that because of Thomas's job, but it makes you more present. So if I could build my life, it's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
I'd go and teach like 10 times a year.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks. Maybe that's the dream.
Anything else you want to talk about? I think
No.
we kind of covered a lot of
We
it.
covered a lot of it.
This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is really great. It's really fun to be on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where can people find you? What's going on?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah. You can find the book wherever books are sold. Amazon would be fastest, but go support your local
I
bookstore.
was going to say go to Little Professor.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you're here in Birmingham, Little Professor has signed copies. So that's
Nice.
fun. The podcast is wherever podcasts can be listened to. Real Talk with Rachel Awtrey. You can find me online, Rachel Awtrey. And yeah, I feel like I have to say this, but like social media is really hard. And again, one of those things I do even if I never got paid, just because I love it so much. It feels like my online scrapbook. But that is, I feel like, where you can get good personality, and I like to kind of like shoot straight at, real talk it. Like, this is what's happening right now. And it's a fun place. But I also will say, like, it's just me running socials. So if you DM me, like like I said, I'm a voice message girl. Like, I'll voice message you back.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's really fun too. So if you listen to this and you're like, wait, I want to go say hey, go say hey.
Yeah.
Leave me a voice message.
I think one of the coolest things I've learned from doing this podcast is that people are not unreachable.
Yeah. So available.
Like, you can just DM people and they'll respond. And so I think that would be my encouragement to people is do that. Like, if you listen to a podcast, or if you read a book, or if you see a video or something that's impactful to you, like, message that person, because maybe Justin Bieber's not going to reply, but you never know.
Yeah. You literally never know. And pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a phone number at the bottom of the email, call them.
Yeah.
Like, that's how some of our coolest relationships have been built. So
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks.
This was fun.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.